are very strong, and I want to get right to the program. I'll introduce Rabia, she will speak, and then I will introduce Elaine, he will speak, and then we will take questions and answers from the audience. So about Rabia. The creator of This Is Not My Allah, a global campaign of resistance against radical Islam, Rabıa Kazan comes to her latest project following a career as an acclaimed Turkish journalist and women's rights activist. Spurred by recent and much publicized atrocities committed by ISIS in the name of Islam, Ms. Kazan hopes to ignite a worldwide resistance movement of Muslims and all people of conscience to denounce violence committed in the name of religion by such groups as ISIS, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and others. Catapulted to worldwide prominence after interviewing Mehmet Ali Aga, who attempted to assassinate Pope John Paul II in 1981, she gained further notice after writing a best-selling book in 2007 called Angels of Tehran, an expose of the practice of a coercive, legalized form of prostitution in Iran called temporary marriage. Having worked at the World Federation of United Nations Associations, Ms. Kazan's career is marked by her commitment to expose extremism within her native religion. She is a writer and women's rights advocate at ICLA, the International Civil Liberties Alliance, based in Switzerland. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabıa Kazan.
This event was supposed to be held at Harvard Club. However, at the last minute, they informed us that they could not accommodate us, probably because the content of our campaign scared them. But I don't blame them. I only blame the fear that has been imposed on the people of the world by terrorism. I have known this fear intimately for the last 10 years. Today I'm not going to talk as a Muslim, or Christian, or Jew. I am only talking as a writer who cares about the civil liberties and freedoms and who challenges the threat of the death by terror that is suddenly part of our daily lives, due to radicals who claim to speak in the name of God. Sadly, I know the threat of death firsthand. Daring to write the truth about the practice of temporary marriage in Iran, sanctioned by Iranian law, I became an enemy of Islam. Daring to remove my hijab a few years later, I was marked for killing. I live with the fear of being killed. I have run. I have changed my name. I have gone into hiding. I live with the fear of my loved ones' murder in some twisted act, vengeance against Allah. I stand before you today to say, I do not believe in God who asks for the death of innocents. This is not my Allah. Nowadays, whole world feels horrified as we were watching a savage, lunatic horror movie. Unfortunately, this is not a fiction. There are thousands of execution videos on internet. There are sickening photos. We try to shield our children and ourselves from them, but many of us have watched them, although we don't want to see them, due to their unbelievably horrifying barbaric nature. Those murderers who use Allah for their barbaric actions not only slaughter innocent people, but kill our basic human freedom by putting extreme fear in our hearts. As a result of terrorists' present campaign of killing, we all feel frightened. Our humanity or compromised as we watch how brutally they kill innocent people. Now we see our humanity compromised. Another way, we are afraid of speaking out. We are afraid sharing our thoughts. We are even afraid of damning this crime against humanity. Because of this reason, these villains think that they are unbeatable, so powerful. They feed on the fear. They created and imposed on all of us. Or silence, or inactions, or fear helps to feed their campaign. Who are these people? We call them jihadists, Islamists, terrorists, extremists, radicals. They call themselves Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Taliban, or ISIS. Even though these terrorist organizations have different names and plays, they converge on the same ideology and commit massacres in the name of Islam. They execute people while saying Allahu Akbar, and every God-fearing person in the world should feel offended down their core because this is not what any God wants. To ISIS, their cohorts, I say, who is Allah you are killing for? I am not familiar with Allah who cries out for the torture execution of innocents. This is not my Allah. Although their history goes back a long time, the world came to know these Islamic terror groups 9/11, and since then United States has been conducting various operations against Islamic terror. Bombs were dropped, American soldiers got killed, terrorists got killed, but Islamic terror has never come to end. On the contrary, it has become more powerful. While we turned our heads away, thinking that danger was over, but threat has grown and spread. Imagine a God. He lets children be raped, their father murdered, their mother sold. He orders people beheaded. What kind of God is he? Could a God be that bad? I don't believe in this kind of Allah. He is not my Allah. It is the very human duty of all of us to say, stop this savage barbarism that commits Middle Age massacres in the name of Allah in 21st century. Please, let me tell you something. I am not interested in international political balance, political calculations, and expediency or countries' agendas. I am only interested in one truth, which is that bombs and guns alone can't be a solution in this fight against terrorism. That's why I want you all, dear friends and members of press, to deliver our message, all people of conscience throughout the world. I am asking you carry this message loudly to those who dares bless the God. When ISIS kills in the name of Allah, we must say, this is not my Allah. Islamist terror not only problem for United States anymore. It definitely is a global problem. Not only American journalists, but also Yazidis, Christian Arabs, Turkmens, Kurds, and Shia Muslims get brutally killed on the border of Syria and Iraq. People get beheaded and executed by gunfire at the roadside. The Middle East on fire. The savagery is not limited execution only. Little girls are being sold in the Syrian border. These are 7 and 8 years old. Girls are being forced into sex work. The women whose husband got killed are being sold slave markets as spoils of war. Abu Usama and Ishish Militan doesn't hide that their aim is to kill Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu and organize huge attack on New York. Europe is on alert against Islamic terror too. Constantly, there are new arrests. They are trying to track the immigrants from Muslim countries who joined ISIS and native-born young men who have adopted an extremist ideology. Until very recently, the view I am espousing was considerate the ranting of the right-winger, the Islamophobic, and while we worried about being non-politically correct, the network of Islamic terror grew and grew. Now, The world is sliding into a state of obvious chaos. Every passing day, the number of the people who are talking about the new, barbaric, and out of the control world is increasing. Despair, my friends, is not an option. Sanity and civility and cause the actions by the people of conscience is what is needed. Today, I'm launching my global campaign of conscience and resistance against terror in name of Islam. It's called This Is Not My Allah. I ask you to join This Is Not My Allah, regardless of your religions or your beliefs. This is not my Allah movement or resistance based on the belief that acts of evil happen because people fail to speak out. We are a critical moment in human history. Those who do not oppose murderous mission of Muslim extremism are passively enabling it. This Is Not My Allah has 4 calls to actions. 1. We implore imams to preach tolerance, love, and non-violence. 2. We implore Muslim educators and madrasas and beyond to educate young Muslim students about the interlocking relationship of 3 Abrahamic religions and respect for all faiths. 3. We beseech Muslim mothers in particular to teach their children that and being perpetuate in name of Allah as their religion. Muslim children have now seen bloodshed and beheadings in name of God. That is the beginning of Maidan poisoning. Muslim mothers must take an active role, re-education their children. Encourage Muslims who have experienced the strength of the radical interpretation of their religion, share their stories on my website or Facebook page. Let us collect stories, inform the world. Let us liberate the people, enslaved by false understanding of God, and actionate the torture. The time has come to take urgent firm measures against Islamist terror or terror in name of Islam. Civilians need to cooperate for world peace and safety and next generation. Before those horrible consequences that are threatening all peoples in the world have come true. This is not my Allah simple plan, similar to drug campaign, just say no. In creating I Am Hardly Unique, indeed, I draw inspiration from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which clearly states that, Article 3, everyone has a right to life, liberty and security of person. Article 4, everyone has the right to life, liberty and security of person. Article 5, no one shall be subjected to torture, to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. I cannot believe that in the 21st century, it must be shown that Declaration of Human Rights is not fairy tale. I am deeply distressed that at this moment in human history, respect for universal human rights must be taught. Yet from now on firm and decisive stand must be taken against those who are trying to disregard Universal Human Rights Declaration adopted promptly by United Nations. My This Is Not My Allah campaign has been organized to protect civilian world from the radicals whose actions have reached the top level of barbarism. I am asking leaders of Islam world take to firm stand against jihadist ideology and break its silence with reformist approach. I am calling for the secular interpretation of Islam coexist with a more stringent practice. While terror conducted relation to Islam, Islamic authorized need oppose the obscene allegation, the terror sanctioned by any religion. On contrary, I call upon imams to preach the full truth, which is that Islam embeds concepts such as a brotherhood, sisterhood, love, tolerance, and helping one another. Further, in order to create strong united movement within the moderate Islam world, the support state leaders, academicians, writers, artists are necessary. Let there be profilation and conferences, articles, concerts, and public events to establish this consciousness. It is considered problematic to state this final fact, but the silence of Muslim fits radical Islam. Silence of Muslim fits radical Islam. The journalist Faris Zakaria stated just the past Sunday on CNN, brave women such as Ayana Ali and Urshad Manji have been promoting this message. And today, I am here state the same. Terrorism gains power from this silence and feels co-religionist support of millions of Muslims. If this silence comes to end, this terrorist will lose power. When they see reactions of the masses, they will feel that they are defeated. Let us raise our voice, defending, roar drown out of the destructive message of murder, which is coming only from small percent of Muslim community. According to Rabıa Kazan, who is an advocate of American Muslims, 93% of Muslims in the world believe in Islam, religion of peace, as opposed those who support jihadist ideology, which is only 7%. The good news is that there is a mighty majority of Muslims who already are with me, and in their hearts. Now we need voice loud and strong. Within the context of this imbalance, if separation of extremism and moderate Islam happens, will be possible fight against Islamic terror. It is important to let 7% hear the 93% proclaiming this is not my Allah. Further drawing distinction between mainstream and radical Islam is important, as we can see from rise Islamophobia. Experts talk about the importance of the cutting of sources of funding for terror. I say, let's cut off their arrogant belief that they represent Islam. Millions of Muslims are deeply upset because of killings of innocents in the name of Allah. They are not happy with the situation, as their religion considers same as terror. So it is time for them take action to remove the stigma attached to their religion. In fact, it is the duty of all the people with conscience to wipe off this black mark from the face of world in order to leave better world to our children. Building up empire of fear, common strategy of all terrorist organizations. I am not a naive, as put on of my call for moderate, life-affirming Muslims separate themselves from those who murder in name of Allah. I hardly believe I will gain widespread overnight. On contrary, there will be millions of Muslims feeling scared of our separation goal. It is obvious reform is not going to happen easily. But things are dire. Don't you think that being brave or defending the true are most meaningful actions under this circumstance? Today, I stand before you all after I defeated the fear I had carried in my mind and in my heart for a long time. I'm tired of feeling scared of that. I wear, what I think, what I write. I'm tired of radicals killing me, bit by bit, every day, through the fear. I'm tired changing my name, changing my address, hiding my truth. Now I extend my hand, and you two join me, this fight against the fear, which is the fear of terror that has been imposed on all of us. I have told you what I believe, and I call you all to break your silence and tell the truth with bravery. No matter what your religion, join me, as should the words, "This is not my Allah." Fight hatred with the heartfelt refusal. Let the terror take over the world. Let those bloody monsters drown in their own swamp. Let the future of terror die with them. I return my call to leaders of Muslim countries to be on side of justice. I call on the authorities of the religion protest terror aloud. Call for protests and demonstrations and rallies. If every Muslim shouting death to Israel this past summer would shoot death to ISIS, or death to those who kill in name of Allah, we will already be on our way, redemption. Silence, my friends, not an option. Otherwise, you have those innocent blood in your hands. As we gather here today, ISIS continues its killing machine in the Middle East. History is calling us and stand up to this atrocity. As a native Muslim, I'm calling out to my brothers and sisters in Islam to take the lead. This is not my Allah. Let us promote poet Rumi's Allah. Rumi's Allah loves all his people without favoring and over another. He even loved these ones who break their promises after repentance. Rumi's Allah shows mercy and humanity, which Allah is yours. I would like to end my speech with my poem by Mevlana Rumi. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, ours not a caravan of despair. Even you have broken your vows 1,000 times, it doesn't matter. Come, yet again come. A revolution happens in small steps. Please join me on global campaign of conscience by adding your voice to mine. I proclaim, stop the campaign of terror, of murder in name of the God. This is not my Allah. May we see peace in our lifetime.